Okay, welcome everybody. I am so excited to be live today with a special guest. It is Winnie. And let me just check, are we live? Can anybody see us? What is going on? Let me refresh my page. Let me take my bottle out of the way. Okay, looks good. Let me see. Is my page reloading? Yes, there we are. I can see us. Perfect. Okay, Winnie. So today we are here with Vinicia Carter, such a beautiful name, and she is an expert when it comes to astrology, and she uses her knowledge to support spiritual entrepreneurs
Yes.
to get the most results with their business, with their spiritual business by, reading their chart. And as you probably can tell, I'm not an expert in astrology, so I'm going to hand over to Vinny. Vinny, please introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what you do, and how you help your clients.
All right. Thank you, Catherine, for allowing me on your platform for starters. Okay. So, yes, my name is, well, I go by Vinny, but yes, my name is Vinicia. And so I'm a tropical astrologer. So I have been working in astrology probably professionally since about 2017. But I decided to niche into business just because this just so happened about, of course, 2020. So that's when I started putting my focus on there, just because I've been seeing more entrepreneurs rising. And of course, just, um, as a woman myself, like, I think um, I think it's just like a big priority for women to know how to be able to manage and just being their own purse handler, but asides being, within a couple, especially nowadays. So my main mission is to definitely help women to just overcome their own personal behavioral uh, just behavioral issues, I guess you could say, that may be blocking them from putting their self out there. That's the main thing. Because I think so many of us are introverts, and we don't believe that we know how to be a leader. And really, honestly, we're more likely the best ones out there, just because we are active listeners, and that's the main thing. And so that, yeah. So yeah, so that was my main goal, just because I have a lot of water sign in my chart, so that's why I have such a, it's just such a calling for me to work with women specifically, but not that I don't work with others. So
Mhm.
so yeah.
Uh-huh. And can you tell us a little bit how astrology can help us be more extroverts, or like overcome certain barriers?
So I would have to look specifically in everybody's chart, just because this is the true essence of astrology, is that everybody is not going to be the same. So you know um, as many people out there, we all love watching our own, like, our rising signs or the sun signs when it comes to astrology, like on TikTok or any of those other platforms. The thing about it is just that you cannot
Mhm.
be so generic about it, just because everybody's life is so complex. Like, you really can't put anyone in a box. So that's where astrology
Mhm.
comes in, when I'm looking at specific aspects. But when it comes to sharing, like, I can give you the basics of of what your particular rising sign or a particular Venus sign or your sun sign, what you're supposed to kind of do in this for right now.
Hey, nice, nice. And what are the areas specifically you help your clients with when they come to you for astrology reading focusing on their business? Are there specific areas you can really help them specifically?
So again, so I do practice spirituality just
Hmm.
because, like just is, life. Like we're all just trying to find out like what are we here for, and you know, is everything what we're doing is in alignment with our true purpose. So I am able to
Hmm.
point that out for you specifically if you are able, like if I guess it depends on what you believe in. So I believe the majority of us we do believe in past lives, but if not, the main purpose of what I'm trying to share with everyone is that this is like the mind's soulful, I guess you could say, evolution. How do we master
Hmm.
some of our, I guess you could say, some of our lower vibes energies? So you know what I mean. This is life, especially when we come just to be older. It's definitely all about um, just progressing in more in the higher light, just on that higher level. So yes.
Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Uh-huh. So, because I did a reading with you, and which was absolutely mind blowing, and I loved it so much. And I remember we're talking about different houses. So, as I've already said, I'm not so much like I don't really know a lot about astrology, but maybe you can tell our viewers. And by the way, if you're watching live, please drop a hashtag live in the comments. Say hello. If you have any questions for Vinny, please drop them in the comments. Or if you're watching the replay, please drop hashtag replay in the comments. And but coming back to my question, so you've talked about like different houses in my chart. So maybe you could like tell us a little bit about why you would want to look at different houses and what, maybe even like how they can support us on our entrepreneurial journey.
Yes, this is probably one of the main big secrets out there because obviously we know everybody has different personalities, but
Mhm.
this is why we can't really put all Virgos in the same box. We can't put all Aries in the same box because it's just there's there's so much that can be going on in somebody's chart natally what they could be experiencing that's
So there
different
are like
because
even differences. There are
yes,
even differences in between. Oh,
right. So
I
like
didn't know.
just yeah, so the natal chart in general, it is a snapshot of the moment when we came into this life. So
Mhm.
obviously not everybody is going to have the same birth time. So that's why this is for an accurate reading, your birth time, it is very important to have if you want to like especially with me, just because I do incorporate Chaldean numerology into my readings normally. So but yes, this is why that's very important just because so just like as for you, Kathrin, like I didn't really see anything negative when it came to because I wanted to talk about the sixth house, which just so happens to rule our daily responsibilities, which would be like if for all the women entrepreneurs and you're running your business every day, right? So I didn't see anything negative in your chart for regarding that your daily habits. But I mean, I'll put it like this, like it's going to be different for everybody because then you'll see why certain people run their lives or their business differently versus the other. So, like, I can speak for myself, for instance. So, I actually have a, a tough planet in my daily living where the fact that I can be forgetful of things and which is very crazy just because I am a Virgo rising. Oh, I'm excuse me, Virgo sun.
Mhm.
But and of course, when you take it off the TikTok, everybody thinks Virgos are just the perfectionists, and I just so happen to be the one that I can drop the ball. So, like, but does that make sense? Like, why you can't put everybody in the same
Yes,
category? So,
yes.
yes. Um, anyways, so just going back again for the natal chart on why we talk about different sectors. The reason why we talk so the natal chart makes up 12 sectors, and which it represents each zodiac sign. So
Mm.
I know some people, like, I guess for you, Catherine, like her chart is intercepted. So even though it doesn't look like that she has 12 separate sections in her chart, but she does. It just shows how there's particular energy that she has to really focus, or it's really emphasized in particular sections of her house, I mean, of her natal chart altogether. It's just, it all just kind of goes back to like the each representation of each zodiac sign, just because everything is associated with life, all 12 signs. Whether we know it or not, it is.
Mhm. So if I understand correctly, because especially the example you gave, being a Virgo, and everybody thinks Virgos are such perfectionists, and I happen to have that belief myself because I know a few Virgos, and I'm always like, ooh, gee, nothing against Virgos, but I'm not a perfectionist. So, anyways, so basically, the question I have is, once yes, I might be a Virgo, and maybe they say out there they are perfectionists, but actually, when I look at my natal chart, I know, oh, I need specific support in this area to really um, optimize, or emphasize or support me in the best way possible.
Correct.
And this
So,
has nothing necessarily to do with limiting beliefs or energetic blocks, but that's just who you are.
right. Right. I mean, there can be some energetic beliefs depending, well, it depends on what planet or what sign is occupying a particular house. So, like, um, so I wanted to go into like just talking about the sixth house in general, but I mean,
Mhm.
to just to answer your question, when it comes to like limiting beliefs, it will be regarding Saturn, just
Mhm.
because depending on where that planet is sitting in your chart, that's where you can have your struggles. So, like if it's sitting in the second house, even though a lot of people know the second house to be more in reference to financial matters, but this is also your self-esteem, where
Mm.
people can have struggles right there. Like, so you know what I mean? Like, this is where you have to try to find which section in your life you need to put the effort and the work in. So that's how
Mhm.
I'm able to point that out specifically for you. Um,
Yeah, that
so
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah. No, because I remember, I mean, a year ago, so I had a human design reading, which is of course not the same, but there are certain similarities, and it also, talks about specific traits, and that really helped me, to understand, oh, this is actually not a limiting belief. I don't have to worry about that, but I just have to, I can change my perspective on that specific way of
Right.
living and embrace it. And that really made such a big change. And, knowing that an astrology, like working with you could also like show me like, hey, by the way, this has nothing to do with like, ooh, you have limiting beliefs around yourself, but rather embrace yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, even that part. Then from my personal experience, and maybe you also have this experience, then we are able to actually kind of turn it around, I would say.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It's just
Beautiful.
yes. It does. I mean, it's almost the
Beautiful.
same concept. It's just obviously human design is so much more like progressive thinking though. But it's almost the same concept because I haven't I've been like a little nervous with that one, but it's just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just like because we did our reading together as well, so I know like the similarities, but also like how your work has gives like a broader picture, I would say, for me at least. That's how I experienced it, which was really helpful.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, you were also very specific when it came to like client attraction, and I really like that. And I
Right.
could imagine that this would be something quite interesting for the women in this group. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that without giving away too much? Like how our natal chart can actually help us with attracting clients?
Yeah. So I believe a lot of people know about, I think a lot of times people use astrology for is for relationship matters. So people know that the rising sign, which is the first house, and the opposite house from the house itself is your partnership side. So that seventh house, or as other people know it as, the marriage house, that rules uh, businesses. This also rules your business partnerships or even contracts. So this is why it's looked at as, as how your spouse would be, but this is also the types of clients that you would attract. So it's the same thing as like when you're looking for in a love relationship, pretty much.
Mm,
So yeah.
that's
So
so
I
interesting.
obviously you want to have that same type of concept when you comes to picking people in your life, correct? So I mean I mean we it that seventh house it definitely shows like the types of people where you are attracted. I mean, along with other things that's going on, but I mean, just for something general to give, like
Mhm.
yes, go ahead and look at your seventh house as an you know the types of people that you want to attract for yourself.
Awesome. That makes like I think that makes it a lot easier when we have that kind of information available to us. And
Yeah.
having done the reading with you, I also know that you go way deeper on what to focus on and what is really important. So that's pretty cool. Is there anything else you feel like you should share with our audience, which we haven't touched upon, why they most definitely should get a reading with you?
Yeah, I did create a little presentation that's just more
Mhm.
instead of regarding our clients. I'm more about we got to start with ourselves first before serving others. And so I wanted to talk about the sixth house for a moment, just because that sixth house is all about our daily responsibilities, or in other words, how I guess you could say like just being just a taskmaster. I mean,
Mhm.
this is definitely work related, and then obviously As Virgo being the rulership of the sixth house, this is definitely more about the acts of services. So this is why you kind of want to know how you go about your daily responsibilities first before you know how we before we're able to work with others. So just real quick, like the sixth house is definitely about the you know, our health. This is about the what we doing, what we are doing for our physical body, like exercising and just diets. And then of course, like I said before, it's about work relations, because this house also rules the co-workers and just our daily responsibilities. And this has to do with both home and work. So like an example I wanted to use was Beyonce, for instance.
Mhm,
So she is a Libra rising, and
mhm,
on that sixth house, she has Pisces. And so, as for what we know her to be doing, is obviously her everyday living is regarding her music. Pisces rules
mhm.
music. But some of the negative things about Pisces, it can be about disorganization.
Mm.
So, so for anybody that knows, like, you know, if whenever we see her on TV, we see that she, you know, like you can tell she's every day more likely in her imaginative, creative state of mind every day. But uh, we obviously know her to be a very busy woman, and that she has to have a team that surrounds her every day that gives off her daily tasks every day. So does that kind of make sense? Um,
Yeah.
Another example would be like, okay, so let's say if you are a Scorpio rising, um, so this would mean you would have Aries on your sixth house. So now, uh, so now with the fire sign on that sixth house, this could mean that, I mean, I put it this: you can be that go getter. You can definitely be initiating things, but like on the negative end, you might be the type to rush through everything, or
Mhm.
just get very impatient with things going on at work, or your daily duties at home. Or all in all, you just might avoid it altogether, because unfortunately, that's what Aries can rule, like just running away from it altogether. so So yeah, like so if you see those people, so I know that one personally. I have a younger brother that this was us when we were growing up. So it makes so much sense. So um
Yes.
but yeah, so I think one of the main things I wanted to cover is just like obviously to get our sixth house in control, it's definitely about our time management and how we're spending
Mm.
our time. So, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to focus it on low energy and just like, you know, just prioritizing like low objective, you know, wasting your downtime on just uselessness. Even though you know you might need like a little help with that, because like I said, I was somebody like I needed that help.
Oh,
Sorry with that, that's delivery. This
no worries.
is what happens when you do it on a live. It's
Of
more
course.
intense for me. So
Of course. Do you need
anyway,
to get it?
yeah, that's anyway,
So
so just
why
go ahead.
so you go get the door so
Oh
that
no,
the
that's package. Sorry,
okay.
that someone just
Okay.
trying to come get my attention for the package. Sorry.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
okay, just to continue on. So again, like just as women in general, because I know majority of us are mothers out there, that it's just natural for you to just go ahead and put your your like just other people's time or their needs before your own. So that's the main thing I want to like just make sure everybody gets clear on is just find that purpose on what we're supposed to be doing in our daily routines. Because obviously you want to, get clear on the purpose just so you know what truly matters. And, writing a list of objectives that really helps a lot. Just so you know the actions that's needed for you to achieve your goals.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the main thing because that's you just remember Virgo is the natural rulership of that sixth house. So it is about order and,
Hmm.
being able to go ahead and just meet your routine every day. And by doing this, like this will actually help you with your just your well-being in general, just
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people they love to wing it, but schedules is actually a really great thing. Like it really is. It just helps you become like less frazzled about things, like and not be rushed. And so I
Yes, so
know
true.
spontaneity like has its like benefits, but like the just ultimately the you know having your schedule is the best way to go. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So another thing what I noticed, at least for me, what I noticed for myself was that once I realized and I just kind of put my routine together, it has actually helped me save money, to be honest, just because I was, um, I think the main thing is when I know how long it takes to complete a particular project, it's actually helped me like to be able to allocate like necessary resources for the matters of what I'm doing. So like this would be when you're going grocery shopping. This is why they say to make a list rather than just shopping on the whim. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Um,
love that. I love shopping on a whim.
so yeah, I mean, but this is what I mean. Like, if you, I mean, hey, do what you do. It's just like I said before. Like, I know I was on a particular budget, so I know this is how it's helped me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
uh, just to now, like, just to kind of point out, like, how astrology helps you, like, how you just like incorporate it. Like, it's the types of reading I would be doing. Is like it's called transit reading. And what astrology does is just it helps identify upcoming trends that's rewarding for you, or it can be consequential. Just but the main thing is it's helping you figure out the most of it before they actually happen. So it just helps you determine that ideal timing when it comes to like taking that particular actions. And
Mhm.
and a couple tips on like how it helped. It helps with stopping the procrastination. Like it really
Mhm.
does. And it's like I what I had mentioned about myself, where I was a little bit boundless and just didn't really have any structure. Now I have to have that structure in order for me to, you know, get everything that I need to be done. That needs to be done. And it just the main thing is just it gives you that just the heads up on the upcoming energy where you can just be prepared to navigate it thoroughly because the main thing is just it's about how you respond to it, not really the reaction side of it. So at least right there you're given that chance to be able to um, you know embrace whatever's supposed to come your way.
Mhm.
um, Another thing how astrology can help you is just it gives you more certainty and confidence just because it gives you that greater sense of control in your life. And
Mhm.
just because of that simple planning ahead, it just gives you like reducing the surprises along the way so you don't have to always just take it out of whim like that. And so, and lastly, I just wanted to say, like, it just astrology, just in general, will just help with the improvement when it comes to your decision making, because just as a leader, you obviously want to make, you know, planning as like your planning process more as the most effective way you need in order to be successful and respected. So it's just mainly this will help you be able to set more clear, realistic goals, so you know that what needs to be, you know what needs to happen in order for it to
Yeah.
be achieved. So that's the main thing, is you just want to cross out all the possible rules of elimination if you can, if you can. Um,
Yeah, and that makes total sense, especially for us business owners. Mm.
yeah. So yeah, that's it for me. So yeah, I just wanted to throw out there again, like, if anybody wants to know specifically in your chart, definitely get in contact with me. I
Mhm.
will. I'll leave a message in the chat box just so people are able to
Yes.
find me and go ahead and PM me if you're interested in looking for a reading, for booking for a reading.
Yes.
If you can.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I can highly recommend doing a reading with Vinicia, with Vinny. It really is very insightful and can, offer you a lot of clarity when it comes to, whether it's, how to stop procrastination or how to make better decisions, or also, how to connect to your soul aligned clients, specifically to your chart. So thank you so much, Vinny, for taking the time and hopping on live with me, and introducing yourself, your work, and how people can reach you. And if you want to go live in this group and introduce yourself, what it is that you do, and how you can help people, then please reach out to me. I'm happy. I'm excited to go live with you in this group. And with that, thank you again, Vinny. Have a lovely
Yes.
Friday
Thank
and
you.
talk soon.
Yes. Talk to you soon. Thank you, ladies.
Bye.
You have a good night.